So, good evening everybody, welcome to tonight's Website Design Live. I'm Jay Pierce for the Photographer Academy. I haven't shown you my pretty face, so I'll be doing that now. And Mark's just joined us live via his webcam. Evening Mark, how are you doing?
Yo!
Hello mate, excellent. So I'm sure it's as warm in your office as it is here. So hopefully like me you've got your fan going anyway. Mark, we're going to go back to basics, but look at the beauty and the versatility of a SmugMug website tonight. I know I've had a little sneaky peek of what you're going to get into. But this really is live, isn't it? We're going to do this in real time, and we're going to show them a cracking front page of a site in probably about 40 minutes.
Yeah, fingers crossed, eh? If it all goes well. I've got to say that before we went live, Jay said, can you close your window because I can hear all the birds outside. So no, I haven't got a fan like him. I'm actually cooking here, okay? So if I do start to melt or the dog starts to die, you'll know why. It's Jason's fault, okay? Anyway, yeah, tonight I thought we'd absolutely go back to being able to mimic. So kind of taking the ingredients from different sites or from a site and then actually kind of bringing them together. And because it's kind of a brand new series and everything else with it, I thought we'd kind of really go and look at specifically one SmugMug site that I love. Happens to be a friend of mine and basically used to be a member of the Experience, great dog photographer, Addy Bigger. So we're going to actually have a look at that, and actually then we're going to see how we're going to mimic it, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. But along the way, Jay, obviously if you want to ask any questions as we go,
absolutely.
Obviously sometime I need to think about things, so I might go a little bit quiet, but otherwise, yeah, we'll kind of go as we're going through. Brilliant. So let me hit my record.
Well, I'm going to send you the screen. So as Mark said, guys, we obviously want you to interact with us tonight, so please, questions via the question panel. I'll put those through to Mark where appropriate, or we've always allowed plenty of time at the end. Mark, I'm seeing your screen. I can hear you loud and clear, so I'm going to leave you to it.
So as I was saying to you, I want us to kind of look at how we're using the SmugMug site. I mean, everybody kind of comes up to me and says, oh, it's okay for you, you've been using it for years and everything else. But I promise you, once you learn a few little ways around SmugMug, you can do pretty much anything with it. You can look at somebody's site and pretty much actually get away with, you know, cheating and actually making it look like you've had it custom made. Well, technically, I'm going to custom make the site tonight anyway, but I've got no developer skills. And I thought we'd kind of look at Addy Bigger, who's an awesome dog photographer up in North Wales, English by birth, I believe, but anyway, he lives in North Wales, about 4 hours north of me, as it were. Anyway, I absolutely love the way that they've kind of put the front page together. You'll see in a lot of photographer sites, there's this scrolling kind of real passion for it and things really that kind of comes on all the time. And instead of kind of having it in blocky and things really, we've got a true kind of scroll front page. And often this is becoming the photographer's only page, in fact, on some websites. But of course, we're going to be able to look in depth behind the scenes and kind of navigate to other stuff as well. So that's what we're going to do tonight, Jay. Okay, we're going to actually take the SmugMug site, our demo site, and basically kind of mimic Andy's site just a little bit more. As I said, if you've got any questions going through, we'll do that. So remember, this is my Mark Leghorn site, but I think by the end of tonight, I might actually go in and actually adjust this one because I've been threatening to do it for a while. However, we're not. Okay, this is where my clients go. It's an independent homepage. They have to click on the logo as such really to take them off into the site, and that's where the navigation starts and things. All right, so we're going to ignore my Mark Leghorn site, and we're going to be working on what is the demo site. So one great thing that you've got with SmugMug as well, obviously you've got all these templates behind the scenes that you can be working on and coming back to at any stage. So I could still have the Mark Leghorn existing site running, but I can actually decide here whether to publish it or not. But that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're actually going to be publishing the site in front of us, and that's really what it's going to kind of turn into, I hope, looking a bit like Andy's site did. So the first thing I need to do is go into Customize, and I'm going to go in and choose a new site design. Now, at the top here, these are all the kind of the demo sites that we've built over the past few years and things really. One of these days I'm going to go in there and actually delete them all, just not get around to doing it. And when we look in the back end of my site, of course, I've got lots and lots of demonstrations that we've built over the years. And again, it would help me if I kind of cleared it all out so you can see where we start from. If you haven't caught one of the webinars that I've done, a website from scratch, then I'm sure Jay will give you the links during the webinar to actually go off to actually find them anyway. So we've got templates here though that SmugMug have designed for us, and these are all ready to populate, ready to change, so you can get an instant sexy site running pretty much within 5 minutes. I bet you could actually have a site running. And in fact, if we just choose the one I'm going to use today, which is Zoe, the bottom right hand one, people who've kind of been on webinars with us in the past know this is one of my favorite anyway. But besides the point, okay, let's kind of have a little look. Don't worry about what it's done. It's basically populated with stuff on the template, the design of the kind of the look and feel. So I'm just going to press choose. And it's given me the option here to either publish now or customize. I'm going to go into customize first. All right, and the reason to do that, as I was saying to you, the other site, the site still exists, as it were. Okay, so let's start the customization. The first thing I've got to do is decide on, do I want anything on the design on the front page, or I'm going to make it my own. Okay, as it is, if we click over to Andy's site just for a minute, we can see what we've got is a logo at the top, a navigation bar, then we've got a carousel of images, then we've got some text, we've got a button that they've created, they've got some text boxes, they've got some social media links, and then they've got links towards the galleries, as well as some video down at the bottom here. Okay, so that's going to be our mission of what we're going to try and create in the next 40 minutes now anyway. So what are we going to do? The first thing will be is to shrink down my own face just so I don't have to see myself. Right, so I'm going to go back to here and we're going to basically make a completely new site. Okay, so we're going to go from the home page and we're going to go into settings, and first of all I'm going to click onto this, and it's going to go to 17 May demo Zoe. So I'm giving it a name so I can come back to it at any stage. I'm going to switch the SmugMug header off, leave the SmugMug header footer on, of course, and then we're basically going to make it a completely independent home page by clicking that button on. And then I'm going to just click onto the favicon button, and I may as well go and choose my logo straight away, or not my logo, but my face, as it were, for the favicon, and that will appear up at the top in a minute. So I'm just going to press save to that. So basically now I can get rid of all this stuff if I want in a minute, but we'll leave it there for now. It's not in our way. The first thing I want to do is actually turn the front page into a stretchy design instead of a controlled 960 design. So if I click onto layout, you can see it's fixed here. That's kind of the iPad width. I want to turn this into a stretchy to take over the whole page, which is done straight away. And the next thing I want to do is turn it from a dark theme to a light theme. So clicking onto theme, into SmugMug, and choosing the SmugMug Light. But there's loads of other options there. You don't have to choose just the one I'm doing. Okay, so that's our first thing. Great. Right, what else am I going to do? Well, now I need to start to put some content onto the page. So let's start from the top and work our way down. So in this case, I'm going to go in, and in content, I'm going to come down to photo and grab a single photo here and drag it up to the top. So if you noticed in the original design we had, there was basically text which showed Mark Cleghorn Photography in the top left-hand side. Now, if I hadn't kind of independently chosen to do the home page, I could have actually just selected an image within there and it would have shown up straight away. As it is, I've deleted all the navigation on the front page. I'm creating my own navigation, the whole kind of look that it's going to look. So I'm going to go into a photo, and at this point I need to go and choose my logo. So I can just navigate to where I know it's stored. This is a MC logo, but it's a PNG, which means it's got a clear background. And as you can see, it kind of tries to fill the whole page here, because in the photo size it says fit width. What I want to do is actually turn this, say, into a medium size, and that's big enough for the top. Right, so action on click is none, or it will just go to gallery or go to URL. We don't have to worry about any of that at all. All we've got to do is remember at any stage the home page is basically where we're going to. So action on click, either none or I can go to URL. If I just paste my URL in for a minute, then it's basically done. I'm going to just press done to that. So now I want to add in a navigation bar below the logo. So let's go into plus and we'll come down and we're just going to go into, what am I looking for? Navigation bar. And we're looking at menu. And at this point, it's going to go below the logo. And you can see it's over on the left-hand side. Well, I'm going to want it in the center in a minute. So let's kind of just, container width is 50%. But I'm going to need to change all this in a minute. So I'm not too much worried about that. Let's go done for a minute. But what I want to do is actually create the navigation headers that I want. Just clicking onto the little spanner brings up the options, and I need to go into display. So in this case, that's wrong. I clicked on the wrong one, sorry. So navigation spanner. I'm just going to go into the links. I want to remove home. I never put home on there now. Everybody knows if you click on a logo, it basically goes home anyway. Okay, clicking off the search. So I'm going to click on to what we want. I want, in the top here, I want About Us. And then I just click back on the top tab on the links. And then I can go once more and click on plus. And then I'm going to do portfolio, click back again, and then add another plus, and then I'm going to add in commission, click back in again, and I'm clicking on links, sorry, plus, clicking on clients, back again, and the last one is going to be contact. So it's very methodical, no problem. Obviously at this point I can actually go in and use the contact form built into SmugMug anyway, okay? So I don't have to worry about the URLs for a minute, but I can have the contact form just doing there. Just let me close my door a minute. Sorry about that. The dog has learned how to switch the television on by the looks of it. So you can see here, it's basically lots of space and everything else, but I want it to start to move over to the middle. So if I just click on done for a minute, we've got our basic navigation on the top here. Just going to now click onto the plus button at the top, opens up my kind of option bar here. And once more, I'm going to go and change the design. So in design, I'm going to go and add a spacer. And add this over to the left-hand side. And at this point, I'm going to change its size to 33%. 40%. It's 37%, is it? So I'm getting it in the middle. Brilliant, okay? So I've got that perfectly in the middle now, and obviously it'll allow me to actually change this and whatever. I could put another spacer, in fact, on the other side if I wanted to. If I go back again, spacer, add it to the right-hand side of the navigation bar. And now what it's doing, it's obviously offset this again. So I could just click onto here once more, change this to 25, pressing done, clicking onto here again, increasing that to 37, I think we said, and we're back into the middle. So what I'm doing is actually controlling all the design elements. I haven't put the navigation into these at all yet, but I can kind of do that at any stage. So if you go back to Andy's site again, we can see what we had. So the next thing was a carousel of images. Let's go in and press plus, and then we're going to come down and we're going to choose photos. I'm going to choose carousel, and now we're going to drop this below the navigation bar. So we're looking for that little grey arrow. And now I need to just go and choose the images. So into gallery, and let's go to choose a gallery. Let's just, to make it easy for a minute, let's go and just choose my front page images and press done. So these are the images that are going to there. It's controlling the height. I need to control it. So how often do I want to do? Navigation bars, I'm going to switch to off, I think. I'm going to auto scroll is fast, I think. Loop images is on, and randomize as well. So just going to press done to that. So that is basically going to add that carousel now, changing the images by itself. So we've got a nice kind of fresh start as we're going through it. Next thing, if we go back to add these again, we've got some text down here below the carousel now. So let's go into that. And once more with the plus button, go down and we're going to add some text. So clicking onto text, what do I want it to be? In this case, I'm going to want a title. Now the title automatically fills it in as Mark Cleghorn Photography. That's what the site name is. Now please remember that if you have your own URL, you can set your own URL into a SmugMug site like you can on any site. Okay, so this could, if I had a free URL that was markcleghorn.com, it could become markcleghorn.com here without any trouble as far as the site. We just put that into settings. Right, going into the tool, and we're going to add in our text that we want here. So I want to put this as the portrait photographer. And I want to put it in the center. Text size, I want it kind of large. I want to make sure it's color, that's okay. Line height, line spacing, that'll do for now. And the next thing I believe was a little tag, a tagline. So, yep, he's got your dog deserves the best. Well, my tagline is memories made to last a lifetime. So I'm clicking into here, just going to drag text, put it below the portrait photographer thing. And then all I need to do is type in memories made to last a lifetime. I can never remember if lifetime is one word or not. Just going to press done, but before I do that, I just want to highlight it, select onto a bigger font. So at this point I'm going to choose, say, heading 3. I want to press B for bold, perhaps. When I select it, of course, it would help that mark. And now I'm going to just move it over into the center, so it goes below the portrait photographer, and then I can press done again. Any questions so far, Jay?
Yes, I was about to chip in, but I didn't want to interrupt you there. The carousel at the top, obviously, we're referring to this as sort of a cross-section, you know, of the sort of photography that you offer, obviously your portfolio images. What kind of numbers and what kind of image numbers are you normally looking to put in something like that, do you think?
It should always be the best of the best of the best. So if you're crap, you're basically going to show 5 or 6 images. We all, the definition of quality is really down in the eye of the beholder anyway, isn't it? Okay, so for instance, in a minute, I'll go in, or before we finish today, I'll upload a new gallery of my 2017 portfolio. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. It was just one of those areas. It's like how far do you go, how many do you put in, that sort of thing. But I mean, I would say, you're looking for a minimum, like you said, of 6 to 8 at least. I would have thought. No?
Yeah, I can do it in a minute. In fact, if I just go into plus and I type in my URL again, remember that SmugMug allows us to do stuff in the background. I don't have to wait for other stuff to finish. I'm still designing that front end page. Okay, it would be stupid for me to do what I'm doing because obviously we want to make sure that we don't make any errors, but I can go in here and create gallery, and I could do 2017 portfolio. Yeah, sharing, public anyone, that's okay with it. Photo protection, yes, right click on. No, I don't want to put a watermark on there. I definitely don't want to download it. I don't mind all but original. Social, yes, they can share it. No comments though. Shopping is off. I don't want them to actually be able to buy those images. And then basically appearance is college landscape if this was going to be a gallery as such, really. All right, so sort by file name. Switch the camera information off, show file name on, and then switch the slideshows off, blah, blah. So I go to create now. And all I need to do is try and find that one I just created, and I forgot what I called it. 2017 portfolio mark. Okay, so I upload images. So remember, I'm doing this now. I'm doing this while I'm still designing the front end site. So I've got new 2017, I believe, new port. There we go. So there's the new 2017 port images. I always try and have images of the year, yeah, and I'm going to kind of make sure that I'm pushing. So if somebody was looking at my most recent work, then it's basically there on the actual the timeline. It's just not the favorite images from last year and things. So that's uploading as we go, all right? So remember where we are. At this point, I'm still designing this site. So we'll go and choose the images. As it is, those new images, there's 2, 4, 5, 10, there's 14 images. But realistically, how long are people going to be on your website? That's what you've got to think about, yeah? Did that help at all?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Remember, they're uploading here, and these are 10 meg files, 9 meg files. I'm speaking to you. I'm on a normal broadband upload here. I'm running my webcam. SmugMug is really intelligent. It helps you so much, you just cannot believe it. So I could have 6 galleries uploading at the same time, and obviously it can only go as fast as your internet is, but it really does actually work intelligently. Sorry, Jay, you going to say?
No, I was going to quickly ask. Obviously we're using it. You know, we've chosen Zoe, and it's actually populated some of the stuff from obviously our previous templates. And somebody's asked whether we can remove those images because you're about to change all.
Yeah, I can do that straight away if you want.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Okay, so
it's a little bit of a distraction, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so we're on about these galleries at the bottom. Yeah.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Let's just remove that fully. I'll just hit that bin button. Can you see that before I hit it?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Remove block. I hit that. Remove block. Gone. All right, so it was only there. Sorry if that was distracting you. I didn't mean to do that at all with it, but bang, there with it, okay? So, cool. Next thing, I want to add that little bit of text below the made to last a lifetime again. So I've just copied some text from my side here. You can't see it, but I type really slow, and I'm really bad at it. So it's easier if you don't see how much of an idiot I am when I type in things, but hey-ho. Right, so let's just kind of raise this up in size a little bit more. So go into heading 4, centralize it. Do I need it bold? I don't think I do. Let's keep done to that. So there's my little bit of text, but once more it's spread across the whole page. Like we did at the top with the navigation bar, let's just go in and add in some design spacers, yeah? So first of all, a spacer to the left, and then basically a spacer to the right. And then, of course, I've got the option here now to just basically go in and change this. So let's go 25% on the right, 25% on the left. And now that kind of starts to make it a lot more kind of flowy and everything else with it. Is that all right, Jay?
Yes, that's great, mate. Cheers.
Great. Do you want me to change these images on the top now, or wait until later on?
Totally up to you. If it's uploaded, I suppose you might as well show them now, I guess.
Okay, so they've uploaded there anyway. Yep. So you can see that on the screen. All I need to do is just press my little X. If they haven't finished processing, you'd see little kind of black areas at this point, but it has, as we can see. Yep. I'm just going to go into here again. Now, on this carousel, just click on the little spanner. Then all I need to do is go into the basic part, gallery, click on front page, and now what I'm looking for is that 2017 portfolio, and I just press done. And then straight away, it's got the absolute most recent images. It's pretty quick, that, isn't it?
It's amazing how fast it is, really. And actually, one of the questions that just came through, so it's a good. I think we should address it now quickly. Is obviously when going back to that section where you just removed the content block. I thought it was quite a pertinent question that we were asked: us, did that remove the images from SmugMug? Obviously, it doesn't.
No, no, it just removes the design. So if I deleted this carousel now, just hit the remove block one. Okay, so it's gone. All I need to do is go back to plus, go back down to photos. Drag a carousel out, make sure it's going to go into the right place, go and choose the gallery, 2017, press done. All I need to do now is go back in and change those controls again. So back into controls, navigation was off, auto scroll was on, that's fast, loop images on, and then randomize on as well, and basically I'm pressing done. So it takes you seconds. Can you imagine how much that would cost you for a web designer? I don't even want to think about that.
Frightening, frightening in the old days. Absolutely.
Yeah. I've paid the web designers to do it. That's why I love all this stuff, so we can change our look and feel. Back to it, Mark. Right, so let's have a look at Andy's again and just see what it was. So then we've got, I like that kind of thing. He's actually highlighted the kind of the little part at the bottom there. You can actually make that a little bit bigger. Again, I'm probably not going to do that, in fact, really. I'll just leave my little kind of piece on that. But let's go in now, and he's got a big book your private commission online now. So let's kind of just do that. So we're going to click plus, and then we go into text, drag in our text again. Once more, at this point, I think we need to be in a header, and it's a book your session now online. Okay, so once more, bring it back into the middle, highlight it all, make it bold. Do I want it bigger? Boom, boom, boom. Can we make it bigger? Yeah, book online now. It's a bit too big. Put it down again. That's okay. Pressing done. So then Andy had a little round thing, didn't he, with the book now. So let's go and make one of those up so we can kind of see how that's done. So I just need to go into Photoshop. I'm just going to go into File, New, and Custom Create. So at this point, I'm just going to fill it with black. I'm going to, what am I doing? No, I'm not. I'm going to Control J to make it a duplicate and then fill it with black, you donut. Go and click up my marquee tool, elliptical marquee tool, and basically just go in and press the Shift key to make a circle. All right. Then all I'm going to do is select and inverse to take away the outside. Now I don't want this background in it because I'm going to make a PNG, so I can delete that straight away. What I would say to you though, if you're going to make these little icons, I would have a template to make sure that you're kind of not uploading an image bigger. So can you see where I'm moving it over to the sides, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to minimize the amount of wasted space, because if you don't do that, you could find that things don't line up perfectly when they're next door to each other. All right, so you just want to make sure when you're doing the crop tool, don't waste any of the space around it. And you'd obviously take a little bit more time than me. So I just want to go in and make a book now. So I'm just going to go into a text tool, drag it on the image, and just go into caps lock, book now. Put an exclamation mark on there. Let's go just a little bit bigger, shall we? So I just scrubby the text size. There we go, done. So there's my kind of thing. So I would save this first. So Shift Control, let me just make sure I'm in the middle. It is Shift Control S, and then basically new site. Let's call this book now. I'll keep it as a PSD for now, all right? Because I might want to go back at some stage. But now what I'm going to do is go and File, Save As. I'm going to save it as a PNG. Now instantly it basically flattens it but keeps the background kind of clear. All right, so in the PNG, book now, save again, and okay. So that's basically made that into a floating object. Remember, with SmugMug, we can only upload JPEG and PNG files, okay, plus MP4 video files. So whilst we're here a minute in the book now, I may as well actually go in and make PNGs of the portrait vouchers that we're going to see as well. So I'm just going to go in now and go Shift Control S, and we just go to new site, Square Bookings. I'll just call these PNGs, text box. So I'm just going to there. So this is voucher. Turn it into PNG, of course. Press OK. I can switch that one off now. Turn the other one on. Shift Control S again. and this is going to be book now. So there is a little bit of preparation work, but you're either doing it or somebody else, you're paying to do it, isn't it, you know? So, so switch that one off again. And then basically Shift Control S once more, PNG text box, PNG, what was it again? The portrait experience. Pressing save. Okay, so I'm just going to upload it once. That's the reason I was doing it. And I haven't really done a specific size image at all with it. So just because I opened up that portfolio before, let's go back now into kind of in towards here. So you've got to store stuff somewhere, and it really depends on what you're kind of doing. I tend to actually store my stuff in other and then in my site stuff. Okay, so it's kind of stuff I don't want to be moved. So I'm going to upload into here, and I can either click and browse, which that's what I'm going to do for now, go into my desktop, go into the new site, PNG text box, there's my 3, open those and they'll upload. I can basically go and upload another one as well, and it was the book now button. Where did I put that? In the social book now, open. Oh, that was a duplicate there, so let me just go and delete that and upload it. I'll put that as a C for circle. Any questions there, Jay, a minute? It won't be long now. We're doing the real nuts and bolts of this site, so it's great.
Well, I had a couple of questions that I was sort of hanging on to because I thought they were quite important, sort of general ones about websites and everything. I had an interesting question, and I know that that I've discussed this with SmugMug at length about SEO, and how to optimize your SEO for the site. I mean, in the old days, it used to all be about text. Speaking to Sean and Alistair from SmugMug recently, they said one of the biggest and most effective ways to improve your SEO is what they refer to as link backs. So it's links back to your website from the likes of your Facebook, your Twitter, your blogs. So making sure you've got all of those feeding through. However, the other thing that SmugMug are exceptional about, they do so much behind the scenes for you with hidden side of it. But obviously on your about pages, you want to put in your key locations and those sort of information to help SEO. But it's not all about text like it used to be. So I wanted to get that across, and obviously just share what I know from SmugMug with you guys on that. The other one, Mark, that I was hanging on to on purpose, and I think I touched on it briefly at the beginning, but it was so it was interesting. I kept it saying about when taking a SmugMug site for the first time, and I might be selling in the future. Should I go for a sales account? And I know I mentioned earlier that you can upgrade at any time, but it all depends on what you want your site to do, really, right?
Yeah. So I would just choose the sell now button anyway. Unless you absolutely know you're not going to, then you may as well actually kind of switch that off to begin with, because it's just going to give you the different options, but you're really not going to lose any of the functionality, except you're going to get frustrated when you can't sell your images. But yeah, just actually, if you definitely know you're not going to sell them, choose that other option in the trial. Otherwise, actually choose possibly, and then just go from there.
But I think they're the main ones that I hung on to for now, mate. There's a few coming through, but I haven't sourced them. I'm going for them yet.
At this point now, we're going to upload 3 single photographs. If you look at the site again, so we need to put that book now button in first, yeah? But then we're also going to upload these images. So let's do one at a time. So what am I doing? I want to go to single image first. So that is below the book now. Clicking on the photo, go into other, hi SmugMug, and there's my book now button. And you can see it's massive because they made it big, but of course what we want to do is just make it into a small size. That's the great thing about SmugMug, it does it for you. Yeah. Now I haven't done any links or whatever it would be, but let's say I wanted it to link back to a certain page. Let's just do it for the Photographer Academy for a minute, and it means now all I would do is in the action on the click, I would go to URL, and then basically it would go specifically to it. So that's the easiest way. Do I want to open it in a new link? Well, because I was taking it to another site, in this case I would. But otherwise, if it's on within my own site, no, I wouldn't. Okay, so that's the kind of the easy part with it. Let's go to done. Now I want to add in those extra photographs that we saw at the bottom. So I go to photo, single photo. I can do multiple photographs, in fact. Do you know, I don't think I've ever done multiple photographs. So there'll be a new one for us. So photos, I don't want the title, no. Single gallery, yes. Choose gallery, no, I don't want it. In fact, I want photos I choose. So choose photographs. Remember, we've uploaded them into the other and the site stuff. So all I need to do now is basically put the book now, portrait experience and portrait vouchers, press done. And they've basically put them down at the base. Now you can see here the problem I've now got is that is an action on click. I can still go somewhere, but it's basically go into a gallery, and that's not what I want, because I want these buttons to actually go to a booking page or different pages, in fact. So in fact, if I click done there for a minute, it's absolutely wrong. It's not what I need. So I'm going to delete that by just hitting the remove the block, go in a plus, and go once more and stick the photographs. So single photo here first. And I'm going to go and click on the photo. So I know this is a little bit slower, but this is also a way now that if I wanted the portrait experience first, press done. Yeah. And what size do I want? So fit, width, medium, small, large. What size do I want? Let's go to large. I think that might be a little bit too big. Action on click again. I'll make them all go to somewhere in a minute, but we can come back and do that. I know we're not running out of time, but we'll get there. Pressing done. I think it's got to go to medium, in fact. Looking at the size, it'll take over too much space. Yeah, press done. Once more now, just need to go to plus once more. Single photograph, drag it to the right. Basically go now and actually click on the photograph. Portrait vouchers, done. And remember, action on click is none. Info style, center photograph. Photo size is medium. Yep, and then pressing done. Once more, we're going to press plus. Go and get another photograph, single photograph, stick it to the right, click on the photo. So you can see already, I hope, that you're seeing my progression with it, and there's no reason why you guys can't do exactly the same as I'm doing. You just need to think about the design and how it's all going to kind of work together and things really. So just going to put done to this one now, link, blah, 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 send a photograph, medium, done. Okay, so at this point, to squeeze these together, I'm just going to go in and add, again, those spaces. Once more, space up. This is because everything works on kind of blocks or whatever it be. And of course, if I wanted these to have different colors on them or different photographs, you can do that at any stage. So even though we haven't given them links, we'd need to go off and actually create a link for it at some stage. Right, just going back to add these and see what he's done there. So we've got the dog photographer on social media with it. Right, let's go back at this point. Plus, we'll go into text. This is going below the photograph. So get social with Mark Claycorn photography. Again, make it big, make it into a heading, shall we? I think, yeah. Let's make it bold. Let's centralize it. Not sure if I like it bold. Yeah, I'm going to keep it as subtle, so just there. And then what I need to do is just go and add in the social icons. So clicking onto there, the plus button, come down to social, grab the social buttons, and then basically once more pushing it just to drop it below. And this is where I can go in now and actually decide what social buttons that I want. So I can go in and add as many as I want. So my Twitter's on, my Facebook is on, I can put my Google Plus, I I did go and find the Academy Google Plus button first. So I add in the Google Plus, show Blogger. Yeah, Jay does have Blogger. Do we use blogging much now, Jay?
What was that? Sorry, Bud. Do we use blog? We still do blog. But actually today, for some reason, the Google Blogger, which is what we use, was actually down. But yeah, we still use it. It's still quite popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like it's still down as well, mate. So we'll just stop that one.
Yeah, it was working yesterday, but it wasn't working today. So I would. It seems to be a Google thing.
So, Flickr, Instagram. Yes, I'm on Instagram. If you want to follow me, it'd be great. I'll post it in the link panel as we are, in fact. So why not promote my Instagram? I'm just beginning to actually do a lot more of it now. So chat, I can't do it. It won't allow me to do it. Okay, so I'm just going to click into there, get on with the job, Mark. And Pinterest, Tumblr, Vimeo, WordPress, YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel as well now. Show email if I want, and obviously kind of custom. But let's kind of keep that there. But in the display part, square icons, yes. Do I want them small? Let's go large. Yeah, that's okay. Make it hub open links in new tab. Yes, I want that to be on. Why? Because I don't want to leave the Mark Cleghorn site at any stage. Pressing done. And then I think all he's added in there is basically the portfolio then. So once more, we're going to go into plus. We're going to go into text. Drag it below the icons again. Once more, we're going to go for a heading. And it was, what did, and just put our portfolio in. Center it, of course. If I want to make it bigger, just go in and actually adjust it on the size there. That's done. And then this is where we go into the galleries. Yeah, if we want to. And Andy has dropped this in, so it's basically one of them is a link to each different photograph. So they're going off to different sections here. Okay, so when you click on one, it goes off to portraits, but you can tell from the layout that this is a gallery. Okay, this is the classic SmugMug gallery here. So if we just go back again, and we kind of do the same thing, basically, if you click on one, I think they're all going off to galleries, which they are. So let's just mimic that for now anyway. Go into plus, and we go into photos, and we go into galleries. Galleries, folders, galleries and pages. We're just going to go to galleries, drop that below the portfolio. Obviously here I go and choose what galleries I want. So select from. I'll lose the gallery heading anyway. Let's go into select from galleries I choose galleries. And then let's go into portraits for a minute, is it? I just click on to portraits, in fact, take the whole lot. Oh, did I do photos? You've done that. Let's cancel that a minute. Galleries I choose galleries. Oh, that's a folder of images, mate. Okay, so where have I got some galleries, collections, baby site, gallery folder. Let's choose that one. Let's go and click on another one. Blog images 2016. Go and click on another one. Front page we've got anyway. I thought there would have been galleries. Oh, there are a few. So you can see every time I'm adding galleries in, I'm just clicking on back onto galleries and adding more in, yeah? Pressing done. So at this point, I can choose how they're laid out. and obviously what is on them. Obviously it's the name of the gallery itself, so you need to think about the gallery name when you're doing it. Grid layout, yes. Photo size small, let's make it medium and see what that's like. That's a bit better, I think. Aspect ratio 1:1, we could go in and change it to 1:3 to big strips. Yes, we want to make that a little bit more folky straight away. Do you prefer that, Jay, or do you prefer the normal size?
I quite like the strips, but I think if the squares are as good, but I would keep it uniform then, so maybe in numbers and making sure it was.
You'd have to make sure that all strips, all squares, perfectly images on there, I think, to make it look
And am
great.
I right in thinking that in the display option you can actually turn the name of the galleries off anyway? I think, can't you?
Yeah, you can. So just actually coming up to here, and basically the one thing I want to do is actually add in some more space. In fact, let's go into 12 pixels. What's that like? Yeah, better. Separating those a little bit. Info style is going to be off. So that kind of loses everything. I think you do need them though on here, and I would tend to actually have a a correct name on them more than anything else with it. Just pressing done then. And I'm not sure if there was anything else, was there? Let's go back to the front page again. So we're very clear. Yeah, it is. And then all he's done is actually added in some video and then some more another carousel at the bottom here that you have to actually use on navigation. So I'm sure we've got some videos. Let's go to, what was below? Nothing, in fact. So latest news. So that'll just be plus and some text. Any more questions, Jay? I quite enjoyed doing this tonight, in fact.
Oh, good, man. It looks really good. I actually, now I see that more. I like in that strip effect. I think it's just the element. Is SmugMug, is it intuitive enough to pick the middle of the image? It looks like it is, Mark. Is that me?
No, absolute luck.
Is it? Oh, okay. That was really good luck then. So that'll lead me on to my next bit. Like, same with the squares, really. I think if they're going to be your front page images, it's worth then obviously prepping them, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. And I would. And I do shoot a lot of square. But again, it's worth making up a gallery that would be all square and things really.
But I do like. Actually, now I see it more. I know we've done sort of these thin strips before, but obviously that was something we weren't discussing today about tonight. So I think it works both ways. But I think if I went to the squares, I would make sure it was an equal row, like we said earlier, isn't it, or two equal rows. I thought it was quite a good question earlier, mate. I addressed it, but I think it'd be good to share with everybody. Somebody was saying, like, once I've made the design, what basically can I design in advance and save for later? I don't suppose we mentioned that, did we? Which you can do, isn't it?
Yeah, you can. That's basically what we were kind of saying before, where we can basically, because I haven't saved, it's saving as it's going along here for me and things really. And just before I finish, I added in that latest news from Mark Clegg Photography on the top here. Yeah, you can also add a title. So great new. So I'm adding in the video now. So great new concept for female portraits. I don't know, just made that up again. But you can also put in your title as well. Never forget that. So if you want to feel like a little bit of blogging or whatever it is, you can actually go in here and go, okay, so it's 05-17, isn't it? 2017. Yeah. So it just allows you to actually do what you want. So just don't think that it's almost, it feels like a bit of a bloggy. Is that the right way with it? I wouldn't have the video to automatically start. Have the kind of the plus button anyway. Center the alignment, center video, or autoplay is off always for me, because I don't want the client to shut down the website in case they're in work. So show the share button, I'm going to switch that to off, show gallery link to off as well with it, and basically done. And then we can see that video is ready to play. I will post out the link to this site in a minute. And then what else we got to do? I think he just put some galleries at the bottom, didn't he? Yeah, brilliant. So let's go in here once more, go in the plus, and add in some text. I was called beautiful.
B-E-A-U.
Yeah.
T-I.
Yeah.
Full F-U-L.
Thanks, Jay. For beautiful, B-E-A-U, B-E-A-U-T-I, full. people. Okay, I shouldn't say that really, should I? Could get ugly people buying them and thinking, oh, I can't buy that.
There's only one Ellen Beautiful, and I didn't say two else to you. I said one.
Oh, did you? Are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure, yeah.
Okay, so just pressing done there. I'm not sure if we've got any wall portraits there a minute. Let's go and have a little look, shall we? But it makes sense that we have. Let's finish it off. Bang on time as well, haven't we? Really? That was really. I've really enjoyed tonight, Jay. I hope everybody else has as well.
Oh, I think it's been great.
I think I need to go and do this to the front page of my site though now. Gallery, recent photos, photos I choose photographs. I definitely don't have images, I don't think. So what can we use instead?
Have you got the ones, the images? You must have the images, you know, with the what we were discussing the other day, the ones that were on the original site design with the frames, the on-one frames on them. It's not quite what we're after. Not quite what we're after, but you
get it. Gallery. Yeah, it's not quite what I meant though, because obviously this doesn't kind of show.
So we can see that Andy was showing them more as a product sort of gallery, wasn't it? Yeah. But obviously that just a little bit more prep at the end of the day, really, isn't it?
But in the controls, we'll leave them on this time. If you remember on before, we basically turned the navigation arrows off. We basically had the auto scroll on and blah blah blah. But I'm just going to keep that as Andy did as well, and we'll keep that simple. So that's it, pretty much done. And now, if I just click done, you either publish it now, save for later, or discard changes. I think that's what you're on about, was save for later.
It was exactly that, yeah.
Yeah, so if I go save for later for a minute, I'm still back to the original page. You go, oh my God, what have I just done? But don't worry, you get to customize, choose a new site design. And do you remember what we called it? 17, wasn't it?
I have absolutely no idea because it was
17 May demo. Was it let's have a look. Is it all done? Oh yeah, that's the one. Choose it. Publish now. Okay, but remember, we basically nicked somebody else's design. But what the great thing is, you can see if you work it out how you can do these things, and then you might want to go in and just kind of customize it yourself and things. And one of the reasons that we made that home screen completely customizable, of course, was in case we wanted to remove the navigation. So you don't have to have the navigation on there at all. Remember, if I go to customization again and I just go to content and design, everything that I click across now is removable, including the logo, the navigation, the heading, the photographs, every single thing. There is nothing that exists on this page at all that we haven't put there. So that is completely us. So once more, if we didn't like that, the navigation, click the delete, remove block. Remember to move the spacer bars as well, of course. Otherwise, we're going to be using up real estate. Pressing done. Publish now. And that is done straight away. Any thoughts, any comments? I do like my 27 my portfolio.
Awesome, pal. I mean, people are in agreement with what we've done in an hour is incredible, and actually one of the states here, amazing, a brand new site, you know, in under an hour. And I know we've had the luxury of knowing it, but it is as simple as you've just done it. But I think what I wanted to chip in, and a few people obviously mentioned in the question box, is that, you know, yeah, we've got the experience, we've been doing it for a while now, but okay, so we've done this in an hour. But if you put aside a couple of hours and have a play as well, and there's so many options and tools available to you within SmugMug, it's, I mean, we've done it all the time, haven't we? When we've learned something new or we've had a play, well, they'll be seeing it in the series because we'll be doing changes all the time, and they'll see how quick it is. But it is.
But that's why we record this stuff as well, though, Jay, isn't it? Yeah, so people can go, you know what, I need to make a big difference to my site. What can I do? And I can guarantee you, each one of these that we've built over the past couple of years is a totally different site, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If we just go back to customize and choose new site design again,
I mean,
You know,
we haven't really, you know, we've really, all, I know we've mimicked Andy's site tonight, which we both loved, but, you know, we've only still gone down maybe a basic, you know, choice, but you can customize the backgrounds, you can do all, well, you go, there's, what's that? Is that one of the video ones? I can't remember. It rings a bell.
no, it's just an offer page where I'm just going to go to background. Let's just choose the image here. What is it? Background, not recent photographs, focus I choose. So I'm doing a completely new site again now, yeah? Mm-hmm. Photos I choose. Let's go back into this 2017 portfolio. I only want horizontal images, I think, or squares. Oh, let's use them all anyway. What the hell? No, I can't because they're not horizontal. Pressing done. But can you see why I didn't want that one? So it's basically take that one again off. That's vertical as well. That's vertical as well. Okay, so I haven't gotten that, so okay, that's done. But straight away, okay, go up to the top here. Let's change that header. That was, lose the mark. So this is memories to lost lifetimes. I'm going to add in my image. I'm going to browse. I'm just going to go and select my logo. Going to change its size pixel wise to 50. I'm actually going to lose the title. Don't want that at all. It's done. Going to go in here and actually just do the navigation and links. Get rid of those. I'm just going to go to links plus. That'll be about. Portfolio. Clients. Contact. Okay, I know we haven't done the pages today, all right, but I promise you we'll do the next time with it. And basically all I've just done there in 2 minutes, settings, copy of Sierra, so it's quick change. Probably 17 May. Done. Publish now. Don't tell me nobody can't do that.
Mate, that's amazing. And straight off the bat then, John has just said that loved the dog mimic, but loving that. And you've done that in 5 minutes. So,
yeah.
Well,
the key thing is choose your photographs for your front page. And if you can see here, if you're doing full screen, you absolutely need to have the highest level of quality of image. You don't ever need to downsize on SmugMug at all. But if you know you're going to go full screen, they've got to be horizontal. Don't throw any vertical images in the mix. I chose one by mistake, didn't I? And it just doesn't work. And that's a classic example of what you can do with SmugMug. Within seconds, I can go, okay, I really want back my old design, back to choose a new site design. We go back to our 17. I think this is the one we did, isn't it? Yep. Press and choose. Publish now. And we'll leave this live for a month, guys, okay? So if anybody does want to go in and actually have a little look at it, but remember what I haven't done is given any navigation to it at all. We've removed that navigation now. Thanks, everybody. I hope you've really enjoyed tonight. I know I have, and Jay's again given us all his time for free. He's a nice guy.
That's awesome, mate. My pleasure. Just a couple of the last two questions to address. I can address them though, I think. I know we're going to be covering this. Obviously, this is a new series, guys, but obviously one of the questions that came up, Mark, was, how, are the selling tools within SmugMug any good? Well, yes, they are, aren't they? So obviously they're linked to Loxley Colour here in the UK, but we will be looking at the sales tools and how to use them in future webinars, but also on the webinars that we've already done and the site building that we've done, so you can go and check those out via the links that I shared with you earlier. And the last question I want to just leave us with, Mark, I know you touched on this, and I think I've touched on it earlier, but one of the questions was, can I practice before actually I buy? Well, you can, but obviously don't lose the discount option, but you get a 14-day trial. So you've got two options: click our link, apply the discount, and then go for your trial, or use a different email address just to get used to SmugMug with a 14-day trial, but don't waste that 20% discount, because every little bit helps. But you do get a 14-day trial up front. And I do believe, well, last time I spoke to Alistair, if you do the 14-day trial and you want a little bit more time, I believe if you contact the Heroes, they will give you an extra 14 days with the discount still in place for you. But any questions, queries, don't hesitate to give me a shout on that. You can get in touch with me via the support page on the Photographer Academy. There we go. And Deborah's joined us tonight from Mountain View in California, just a few blocks away from the SmugMug headquarters, and she says they are lovely people. So great to have you with us, Deborah. I presume it's the best start of your day, where it's the end of our day. Mark, thanks for your time tonight, mate. Like I said, we're back in about a month with the next session in this. And as I said, I'm just going to steal the screen back. A few reminders before we go, mate. I'll see you tomorrow, Mark. All the best, bud.
Have a good one, bud. Thanks, everybody. Take care.